Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lukenessmonster, and today we're going to be reviewing the Star Wars The BlackSeries Clones of the Republic Yoda and Clone Commander Gree 2-pack. This is one of my most anticipated figures of the year. We finally have a Revenge of the Sith Yoda in the line, with that amazing Jedi Council chair, and of course a pretty cool Commander Gree figure. So looking at the side of the box, here is Commander Gree's artwork, looking pretty cool. And around on the other side, we have Yoda's artwork, and I absolutely love this artwork. He is in the chair, as well as we have kind of like the skyline of Coruscant with like the window of the Jedi Council room here, so very cool artwork. Flipping around to the back, we do have both of these images again, as well as the bio, which you can pause and read if you would like. And of course, this is number 2 in the Clones of the Republic line, and I cannot wait to see all the more additions I'll add to this line, because there's so many possibilities. Other than that, let's go ahead and get this guy open, because there's not a whole lot else going on with the box. Alrighty, so we do have these two figures out of the box, and I gotta say, they are both looking pretty solid. The Clone Commander Gree figure is on the 2023 clone body, but he does not have a removable helmet, so this is the first one on that body to not have a removable helmet, and there is some problems with it, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit. But Yoda does seem to be a pretty brand new mold. There might be some reuse from Empire Strikes Back, but for the most part, he looks new to me. He does look amazing, though, based off of his Revenge of the Sith appearance, and he also does have that nice kind of Jedi cloak. A lot of people were complaining about like the shade of brown of the Jedi cloak and how it looks a little dark. I do agree it looks a little dark, but in person, I think it looks pretty good, so. But yeah, let's go ahead, get these figures off of the spinny stands and take a close look at everything they have to offer. First up here, I do want to take a close look at Yoda's face sculpt, because his face is absolutely amazing. This thing looks just like the CG render of Yoda in Revenge of the Sith, and honestly, I really like how this looks and how it turned out. The angry face is definitely really good as well, but the smiling face is also pretty good too. And here's that one here. I do think this one does not look as good, but I do think it definitely looks really good overall, and I'm really happy with the Yoda face sculpts here. They came out amazing. Next up, we did remove Yoda's cloak, because I do want to take a close look at articulation. It's kind of hard to see the articulation with the cloak on, so we did take it off. Looking at the head, he does have a ball joint, so pretty solid. At the shoulders, he can get up into a T-pose. No butterfly joints, but we didn't really expect it. He is a pretty small figure. At the elbows, he doesn't really quite get 290. It's pretty close, but not really there. And then he does have a ball joint at the wrists. He does have a swivel at the waist. He has ball joints at the hips, so you can actually get quite a bit of range of motion here. He can kick up about that far, and he can kick back about that far. And then he gets a ton of range of motion at the knees, which is really good because you need to get him down into like a sitting pose for the chair, so the knee articulation here is exceptional. And then he does have ball joints at the feet, but very limited range of motion there. And this figure actually does have the exact same like neck peg as the Empire Strikes Back Yoda, so if you want that head on this body, you can do that. So that's what this looks like here. And of course, I think this is the real seller of the figure here, and that is a Jedi Council chair. This thing looks amazing, and especially once you get Yoda in that sitting pose. It's a little difficult at first, but it's definitely manageable, and honestly, I think he looks absolutely amazing. This has got to be how I pose him, just because of how good he looks in this chair, and it really makes me want to see some more Jedi Council chairs in the line, just because I want a Jedi Council display now with how good this figure looks in the chair. It's really amazing. Looking at the chair here, very nicely sculpted. There's a lot of detail in like the seat cushions here, and the red cushions here are actually like this soft plastic, so you can actually have like a little bit of a squeeze and push into them, and it feels like a cushion almost, which is interesting. Not a whole lot going on at the bottom and the rest of the chair, but very nicely sculpted and nicely detailed. I really like the chair. It came out great. Next up is the brand new Yoda on the left compared to the Empire Strikes Back Yoda on the right. This is the version that came in the deluxe Luke training set. And I gotta say, both of these look absolutely amazing. Honestly though, I do think I like the one on the left better. I think I like that Revenge of the Sith design just a little bit better. I like the open robe a little bit. And honestly, I just think it's a little bit more of a visually appealing figure. But they both still look great, and I'm really happy with how this new Yoda turned out. Next up for Commander Gree, I'm not going to go over articulation because we've already seen the 2023 clone body like a dozen times in the line now already, and so we are just going to be kind of looking at this guy, but he does look great. Biggest problem is that he does not have a removable helmet. He does have a tan head sculpted underneath, which is nice, and that is a big upgrade from the white heads, but the problem is the helmet is still glued onto this figure, and it's glued on really low on this figure, and so you can't see his neck. He's almost got like no neck, and it just looks really awkward on this figure. With the removable helmet, you can kind of like set it on to where that's not really a problem and you can angle it the right way. But like this one, it's glued on and there's not much you can do, and it just looks a little wacky. But other than that, that's my only complaint. I think the paint apps look amazing. I do think that the design is cool. I really like this version of Gree in the line. But he just has no neck, and it looks really funny. First up, we are going to be comparing Gree next to the original Commander Gree on the left and the 442nd Clone Trooper on the right. I gotta say, these clones do look pretty good together. I do think I like the camo Gree on the left a lot more when it comes to design though. The camo is just so cool, and while this comic version of Gree does have a cool design, it's very reminiscent of his Phase 1 look. I just think that the camo is a classic and it's hard to beat. The 442nd on the right is looking great as well, other than the fact that the green is just like a different shade of green compared to Gree. It's going to be hard to get him to blend in with this version of Gree, which is kind of a shame, because it's really the only 3 green clone troopers we have in the line. But regardless though, the brand new Gree by far has the best articulation, and he definitely has a win over the other 2 because of that. But overall, I do think I would have liked a camo version of Gree in this set just a little bit more. First up for comparisons for Yoda, we do have some of Yoda's ops, with Darth Sidious on the right and Count Dooku on the left. Yoda does fight both of these characters in the prequel, so I had to get them on the shelf next to him. And I gotta say, Yoda is very tiny. He's a very small figure, so it's kind of hard to pose him in any dueling poses, but he does look good next to them, and honestly, I think this Revenge of the Sith Yoda is definitely a fine addition to the collection, especially if you do want to try to put him in some kind of dueling pose, but he's especially looking good next to Sidious here on the right. And of course, we do have some other Jedi Masters here next to Yoda, and they are looking absolutely incredible. With the addition of Shaak Ti and Luminara coming here in just a little bit, it's really going to round off this Jedi display. And so finally having a Revenge of the Sith Yoda is such a win for the line here, especially with Jedi displays like this. And so I'm so excited to see what the Black Series can do in the future. But please, we definitely need some more Jedi Council chairs with these guys. And here he is in the Jedi Council chair. Like I said, it is such an amazing display here, and I just can't get over how good Yoda looks sitting in the chair. So happy with this set. To be honest, Yoda is the main reason you're going to be buying this set. Unless you're a big Commander Gree fan, which by all means pick it up then. But for me, the prequel Yoda is easily the reason I picked this one up, and it really shows in displays like this. So yeah, overall, I absolutely love this set. I think Yoda is such a huge improvement from the Empire Strikes Back version, and plus, it's just such a great addition to the line to finally have a prequel version of Yoda, and that Jedi Council chair is just a work of art. I don't know what it is about Black Series figures and chairs, but make any chair you can in the Black Series, because it's automatically going to make the posing for the figure so much better, and I absolutely love this Jedi Council chair. So Hasbro, if you're watching, please make so many more Jedi Council chairs. Commander Gree does look great too. I think he's going to have a little bit of a hard time fitting into your collection, just if you don't have a lot of other green clone troopers. But other than that, he is pretty solid for the most part. Like I said, the biggest problem is just the lack of neck with this figure, but at some angles you can get it to look good, so it is manageable. So overall, I do highly recommend this set, and I do think you guys should go pick it up if you have the chance, because I absolutely love it. But if you guys did enjoy, make sure you go down to the like button, subscribe, and that is going to do it for this video, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.